Greetings, welcome back to Black Bear News, where we are discussing climate change, abrupt climate change, and things adjacent. And wanted to bring you this article out of the Guardian. America's recycled plastic waste is clogging landfills, survey finds. We could file this under we already knew this, but let's read on. This is from February 18th, 2020. Many facilities lack the abilities. I like how that worked out. Well, they didn't say abilities. I did. Lack the ability to process mixed plastics, a category of waste that has virtually no market as new products. Many plastic items that Americans put in their recycling bins aren't being recycled at all. According to a major new survey of hundreds of recycling facilities across the U.S. Yeah, for people that are recycling their stuff, a lot of people are not very educated about how to recycle. That's a huge problem in recycling. How it's done is critical because if you don't do it right, things don't get recycled. And even if you do it right, even if you do it correctly, things still don't get recycled. So the research conducted by Greenpeace and released on Tuesday found that out of 367 recycling recovering facilities surveyed, none could process coffee pods. Yeah, if you don't know about that, coffee pods, not recyclable, so don't do that. Fewer than 15% accepted plastic clamshells, such as those used to package fruit, salad, or baked goods, and only a tiny percentage took plates, cups, bags, and trays. The findings confirm the results of a Guardian investigation last year, which revealed that numerous types of plastics are being sent straight to landfill in the wake of China's crackdown on U.S. recycling exports. And this is another big problem, is that many recyclables were being shipped to China or other Eastern nations to do whatever it is they do with it, supposedly recycle. But it was kind of an out of sight, out of mind situation. And now China said, nah, we're not going to take these anymore, and turned the boats around and said, figure this one out on your own, people. Greenpeace's findings also suggest that numerous products labeled as recyclable, in fact, have virtually no market as new products. Wow. While the report found there is still a strong recycling market for bottles and jugs labeled 1 or 2, number 1 or number 2, such as plastic water bottles and milk containers, the pipeline has bottomed out for many plastics labeled 3 through 7, which fall into a category dubbed mixed plastics. While often marketed by brands as recyclable, these plastics are hard for recyclers to repurpose and are often landfilled, causing confusion for consumers. The best way around plastic is to not, as much as possible, buy anything that's in plastic. Not to use it. Just, you got to be super aware, very, very aware. We've heard there was kind of this old thing about not using things that were made of paper, save the trees, or packaged in paper products. But at least those things are compostable. And there's a lot of new packaging that is compostable. I see that businesses are trying, especially in Los Angeles. There's a lot of businesses that have fast food containers that are compostable. They're trying to turn it over, and they're trying to do better. But if you just go to the store, you're just deluged with plastic. So you really have to be aware. I don't buy things in plastic containers as much as possible. If something can come in a glass container, I buy the thing in the glass container or the cardboard carton or whatever it is. Just anything that's not plastic. As much as possible, as little as possible if you can. I buy toothbrushes that are made with wooden handles. There you go. And more environmentally friendly ingredients. I don't floss my teeth. I use toothpicks. Dental floss is highly harmful to the environment. It does not biodegrade. It gets into the ocean. It kills animals. Anyways, there's a few things you can do. This report shows that one of the best things to do to save recycling is to stop claiming that everything is recyclable, said John Hocevar, I don't know. Hochevar, director of Greenpeace's Oceans campaign. We have to talk to companies about not producing so much throwaway plastic that ends up in the ocean or in incinerators. Because, you know, when you burn plastic, that just creates really lovely, delicious compounds that get spewed into the air or into the environment. In a news release accompanying the report, Greenpeace threatened to file federal complaints against manufacturers who mislead the public about the recyclability of their packaging. Jan Dell, the founder of the Last Beach Cleanup, excuse me, and the leader of, I don't know, it was like, what does Last Bleach mean? And the leader of Greenpeace's survey team said the point of the report was not to kill recycling. It was to show which products are recyclable and which are not. Also, a lot of things come packaged in, packaging that's like layers of, there's cardboard and there's other stuff inside of it, like foil or plastic or some other ingredients. They're like mixed media, packaging. You can't recycle that stuff either. So be very wary of that. She emphasized that bottles and jugs are indeed worth recycling, but said our findings show that many items commonly found in beach cleanups, cups, bags, trays, plates, and cutlery are not recyclable. In America's municipal recycling system, they are contaminants. Yes. You also have to be super wary if you ever buy fast food or to-go food. Tell them to leave out all the ketchup packets and all the utensils and all the junk. If possible, you got to catch them before they do it. The U.S. recycling economy was upended in 2018 when China enacted bans on the imports of most U.S. recycling, leaving recycling companies at a loose end. The report chronicled how dozens of cities stretching from Erie, Pennsylvania to San Carlos, California have either stopped taking mixed plastics or sending them to landfill. Yay. The report noted that recyclers often report mixed plastics as having a negative value. In other words, they cost money to get rid of. Additionally, it cited federal studies that have estimated that fewer than 5% of these products get reprocessed into new products. Martin Burke, the director of the Ecology Center, which handles recycling for Berkeley, California, told The Guardian that the city is spending about $50,000 a year attempting to recycle material that largely isn't recyclable. Wow. Berkeley pays to send its mixed plastic to an extra sorting facility in Southern California, and half of it still gets thrown out, he said. Berkeley, super progressive, super forward-minded city, is paying money to recycle things that ultimately can't be recycled. Let's get real about what is recyclable, he said. Now, instead of making money by reclaiming valuable recyclables, we're paying $75 a ton to subsidize these brands and packagers who make all this stuff. The report claims that advertising this almost impossible to recycle plastic packaging as recyclable violates the Federal Trade Commission's Green Guides, which states that marketers must ensure that all reasonable interpretations of their claims are truthful, not misleading, and supported by a reasonable basis. Grounds for a lawsuit. Asked to comment on the report's findings, the Sustainable Packaging Coalition, which represents brands trying to improve packaging, acknowledged the recycling industry was facing disruption, but said that new U.S. processing capacity was being developed to enhance the recyclability of products. I think our industry is rebuilding and adding capacity, and that's a good thing. Said Nina Goodrich, the director of the coalition, we should be processing our material at home. Kelly Kramer, who leads the organization's efforts to create a standard labeling system for products, said the organization is now advising consumers to get to know their local recycling program by checking locally with their waste services provider to see if packages are recyclable. It's perfectly acceptable to be disappointed that we have a fragmented, difficult to understand recycling system, Kramer says. We have always told people when packages aren't recyclable and should be left out of the bin to help prevent contamination in the stream. For example, 3s and 7s have always been labeled not recyclable in our program history. Given the problem with our recycling system and the complexity of the packaging, the most effective strategy might be challenging the companies that aren't labeling their packaging at all. Kate Bailey, a manager for EcoCycle Solutions, which runs the recycling program in Boulder, Colorado, said that Her organization has found outlets that will process most of its mixed plastics. Because its high-tech machinery and devoted customer base gives it the ability to sort the material into unusually clean bales. Very good. But she said this is a challenge for many recyclers, especially since these materials currently fetch record low prices. She hopes the problems that China's decision has caused for the domestic recycling market will lead to long-term improvement in the U.S., as we hope that it should. But the base problem is the packaging in the plastics in the first place. The production and packaging of the plastics in the first place needs to stop, needs to be curtailed, needs to be taxed into oblivion or whatever, or regulated out of existence, etc. We, the recyclers, are the scapegoats, but we don't know we don't control how products are made. If manufacturers are going to make these products, they should be buying them back. What a novel idea. They can be the ones closing the loop. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Buy them back and then repurpose them, reuse them, whatever it is. Thank you so much for your eyes, your ears, and your conscience. If you would like to support this channel, you can do so at the links below. Until next time, peace.